I just wanted to make a video today to talk about opportunity, okay, and how we're taught to think about opportunity and how fucking wrong it is. Like when I was growing up, it was all like, oh, leave school, get a trade, leave school, get a trade, play it safe, play it safe. And this way of thinking, as we now know, it's not really serving us. I mean, it did for a while. It worked really well, like the 9-to-5 structure, right? But it doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. I wanted to make a short video today. Excuse my my analogies and what I'm about to break down, but it will make sense to you, okay? So on this side, we've got a little guy, right? A little guy is fishing. The thing is that this guy is fishing in this really shallow pool, okay? It's like a puddle. Now there's loads of tiny fishes in there. There's loads of them. But anybody can catch these fish. You can't even really feed your family on these fish, okay? But at the same time, everybody wants to come here because they know they can catch these tiny little fish. The people think this is a safer bet for them and their families, you know, to come and keep trying to catch these tiny little fish. Even though you can't feed your family properly on these fish, people just flock there and flock there. And on this side, right, we have a different fisherman, okay? Now this guy, he saw what was happening on this side. But he was like, do you know what? Why am I going to go and fish there? For a start, there's loads more people fishing there. Even when I do catch the fish, which I'll be catching every day, they're tiny little fish. Like I can't feed my family with these fish. My life is crap. My life is a joke. I can't do what I want to do. You know, he can't resell these fish or whatever. They're just too small. So he decides, I'm going to take a little voyage. I'm going to go out to this deep ocean, okay? So he spends a little bit more time. Maybe it might take him 6 months to a year to get out to the exact spot where he wants to be, okay? But when he gets there, he's got these huge fish, okay? But nobody else is fishing here, okay? This is like nobody wants to venture out into this ocean and get these fish. And the thing is, it's not just this one big fish, okay? There's loads of them. There's absolutely loads, okay? Sorry, that is a terrible fish. Okay, you get the point. There are a lot of these huge fish, okay? Now, you can see what I'm getting at, okay? The opportunities that we are taught to go for is that little small puddle that was on the right-hand side, okay? The small opportunities. On this side, we have the bigger opportunities, okay? Now, for me, the smaller opportunities, okay, it'll be like your 9-to-5 job, which there is nothing wrong with doing, okay? If that's what you want to do, absolutely fine. But the thing is that most people, they don't trust the education system and they don't want to learn it because it just doesn't resonate with you. You know, 9 times out of 10 that it's bullshit. You just don't have any interest in the stuff they want to learn. You don't need to know about isosceles triangles or algebra. That's just not your thing, right? So most people will get a low-level job, okay? Maybe, though, you'll go one above, okay? And you'll get your own business, okay? Better yet, you might even go to university and study for 10 years plus and become an architect, okay? And then maybe you'll make over 100k a year, depending. You might want to be a doctor. Okay, again, 10 years of work and you might make 120k a year. Okay, the bigger opportunities, right? It might be something like finance. Okay, it's literally where money is, okay, in the banking system. Might be like Bitcoin, might be Forex. Now, you might associate risk with these things, okay? It's just because you don't know enough about them, right? But is this not risky, doing this? Doing the same thing again and again and again, knowing that you can't provide your family with what they want and what they need and give yourself the life that you want, but yet you'll still keep doing it. So think about how you're attaching the risk. You might even, okay, there's still risk in a business. Lots of businesses fail in their first year or two of opening, you know, even you might study to become an architect. Things still cannot work out if you don't get the job for the right company or you don't get the right promotion or whatever. And it's the same with being a doctor, okay? The biggest opportunity that I want to talk about right now is content, okay? Now, there are more millionaires and even billionaires making money online and being created every single day than there ever have been in history, okay? Making content, you can make that doctor's salary in a week, okay? Or a month. So would it not make sense to aim for something like this? Okay, of course it would, right? Why would you want to keep fishing in the little tiny puddles where only the tiniest fish are that you can't even feed your family on, okay? So I want to talk about content. Now, when people talk about or think about how money is made with content, they're normally just associated with, say, ad revenue. So say like on YouTube, right? When you get over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you can then apply for ad revenue, right, and get paid for all the ads that pop up on your content when people watch your videos. But on top of that, what people do now is they make courses, okay? That is not how you spell courses. Okay, courses. So this could be a selection of your interests, okay? For me, for example, like I'll use my own as an example. I've got now a paid community, so it's monthly recurring. It's only $99, okay? It's like £80, like £20 a week. Inside there, I've got a quit any addiction course, right? Because I've overcome addiction. I was a drug addict for 24 years. So I've got a quit any addiction course in there. I'm also into the gym because, you know, it helps me and makes me feel good. So I've got a weightlifting program in there, a bulking program. I've been bulking for like 6 months. So you can basically make a courses out of anything that you're interested in. Okay, I've also got productivity check sheets and other stuff in there. There's so much value in there, it's amazing. But another thing that you can do is you can have a product. Now for me, I've got my own supplement, the Life XP male supplement, okay? It's a natural testosterone booster. You get that when, for anyone that signs up to my paid community, you already get that. But it's also running by itself, okay? I've got a website for it and it can sell by itself. My point is, okay, is that there's a lot of ways that you can make money from content. It might be merchandise, you know, merch, like t-shirts, clothes. Most people are using info products, okay, and courses to make money from content. There are a lot of ways. It might be affiliate marketing. You'll basically get a link to other people's products and post it with your content so you can get paid whenever people click on that link, okay? Now this is where the biggest fish are right now, okay? And yet, there's very few people doing it, okay? Now why do I push content so much? Because it's going to give you more fulfillment when you are making things around your interests, things that you care about, okay? Things that you are interested in, okay? Let's just use fishing because I just used it as an example with the little fisherman guys. So maybe your interests are fishing, okay? My battery's running low. Maybe your interests are fishing. It might also be basketball. You might like spending time with your family. Who doesn't, right? Maybe it's boxing. I love boxing. Going to the gym, pottery, you know, art, photography. You get where I'm going, okay? Now, I've fished before. I wouldn't call it a pastime of mine, but I wouldn't turn it down, if you know what I mean. I enjoy it. So these are like some of my interests. Art, probably not pottery, but this is, you know, the random selection of interests, right, that you might have, okay? So you might like hanging out with your family, okay, but also basketball, fishing, boxing. So this is a very unique kind of set of interests, okay? And not everybody has these interests. There are people out there that will like all of them individually, okay? Very few will like all of them together, okay? So this will basically, if you make content around all of these things, it gives you a wider kind of spectrum of appeal. If you imagine two Nike companies, right? First Nike is Nike, it starts, okay, builds up the brand and blah, blah, blah. The second Nike comes, exact same logo, exact same everything. That's gonna be a lot of problems for the other Nike. It's going to create problems, right? Because they're going to sell less. Their market share has been split in half, okay? It's not like that with content and your interests because there's only one you, okay? There's only one you and you are the niche. People talk about niching down and you don't have to be an expert in all of these things, okay? You don't have to be Muhammad Ali. You don't have to be LeBron James. You don't have to be Mr. Olympia, okay? You just have to have a general base of knowledge. You only have to really be like a couple steps ahead of somebody else to be able to reach around and help them forwards, right? So that's why it's so powerful. I will always preach making content now every single time. Like, personal growth that you are going to feel from making content anyway is so amazing. Like, doing something that is fulfilling for you, something that you really vibe with, something that you want to get out of bed and just fucking do. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's valuable. Something where you could create something to help somebody else is amazing, okay? You will feel a drive like you've never felt to do things when you can do something like that, okay? So don't be The little guy up here, scared to take a risk, that's fishing in that tiny little pond where everybody fishes, okay, and catches very, very little.